gentlemen, welcome to the Nosebleed Seats. I'm the mad conservative crime fighter. We are here tonight at Coconut Louie's, and the fans are lined up for wrestling action here tonight. But first off, a special interview.
We are here at Rock and Roll Wrestling here in Bloomington, Illinois, and joining me at this time, a legendary light heavyweight wrestler, one of the forerunners to cruiserweight wrestling, which I don't think get enough credit in this industry. Rock and Roll Buck Zumhofe.
Thank you. It's good to be here. You know, we aren't real far away from Peoria, Illinois, and Peoria was one of the big markets for all-star wrestling. I remember wrestling there as long as 20-25 years ago. As a matter of fact, King Kong Mosca, I was just a rookie only wrestling for about 2 or 3 months, and I had to wrestle him one night. Well, obviously it only lasted for about 3 or 4 minutes, but I guess I got out of it with my skin.
Now tell us about the promotion. You've been running all over the country. I've seen, I know a few people have wrestled for you that are from the Peoria area.
Well, what we have done is we've tried, or we are doing it, instead of this wrestling that's somewhere out in New York City or out in Mars somewhere, we're trying to bring the old-fashioned styled all-star wrestling back to the community, back where the people can have a reasonable ticket and have a really exciting show. We mix it up with our lovely ladies, of course. We occasionally have a midget. We have a little midget lady, and she's part of our show, not here tonight, but she does come to some of our shows. And of course, a whole lineup of the old AWA guys still make appearances. We bring in the Baron Von Raschke, Adnan Casey, Greg Gagne, Jim Brunzell, the Sodbuster, Nick Bockwinkel, and practically anybody from the old AWA days. If they would like to have these particular wrestlers come to our shows, we do provide that for the places we go.
Now, who are the wrestlers that you have on your roster here tonight?
Well, now these two young fellas that were here tonight, one of them did fly in from California. He's been living up in Minnesota. He just graduated from the Vern Gagne, Greg Gagne School of Wrestling, and he'll be wrestling in one of our earlier matches. And we have this other kid, we call him the Lover Boy. He also graduated. Now these guys are excellent. That's where we have the edge maybe from other wrestling oppositions. Our wrestlers wrestle. They do flying head scissors. They do flying drop kicks. You're going to see that all tonight. We are getting away from other kind of wrestling where they call it wrestling because he kicks him and beats him, runs his head into the post, hits him with a steel table, takes brass knuckles. We don't have any of that.
Well, brass knuckles, it's now state law. You can't possess them or it's a felony.
It used to be. We stay away from all of that. We're trying to bring traditional wrestling back in the scene. We put on headlocks, as you're going to see tonight. Well, you won't, but the people here are going to see tonight. And we mix it up with our little midget and our lovely ladies. So we make it a full night of one big show with all kinds of stuff going on. The midget will be mixed up with the girls, and the girls are going to be mixed up with the guys, and there's going to be a mixed tag team match. Buck Rock and Roll Zumhofe is going to have a classic AWA All-Star match also tonight. So for your one ticket, you're seeing 4 or 5 shows wrapped up into one. And I believe in the last 10 years, this is our 9th year, looking at 10 coming up, that our success is because of we bring in classic all-star wrestling and mix it up with a spice of entertainment. That's why we're successful, and of course we thank the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people that come and see our show every year.
Now you were one of the forerunners to cruiserweight wrestling, although they were calling it the light heavyweight title back then.
Well, back then what Vern Gagne had, he had kind of a petition or a spot. If you were over 215 or over 220 pounds, you were considered a heavyweight. If you weighed 231 pounds, let's pick on somebody, Brunzell, 238, 240 pounds. He could easily wrestle Nick Bockwinkel for the championship. Nick Bockwinkel was 265 pounds. There's a 30-pound difference. But according to the sport of all-star wrestling, that was a heavyweight.
Right.
So the line, let's say, was at 220 or 215. Now, anybody who weighed 215 pounds, Steve Regal, for an example.
Mr. Electricity, not William Regal of WWE.
Right. And this other Mike Graham from Florida. He was one of the top contenders. Now, this is a funny thing. He didn't, but Bobby the Weasel Heenan probably weighed about 235 pounds. If he would have said, hey, I'm going to lose 15 pounds, he could have been a contender for the lightweight belt.
Right.
Well, thank goodness he never did. But I'm saying that there actually could have been somebody who weighed 100 or 222 pounds, and he still maybe could have wrestled for the heavyweight.
122 pounds, that's a bantamweight.
222 pounds.
Oh,
pardon
sorry.
me. Right. But I mean, he could have had the option of maybe wrestling Nick Bockley and turning around and wrestling me.
So who do you like to see today, the current crop of cruiserweights wrestling on the circuit? Who do you like to watch?
I don't know who any of them are.
What do you mean? What about like Rey Mysterio, or he's the?
Never heard of him.
You've never heard of Rey Mysterio?
No,
Jim?
I don't watch wrestling on television for a couple of reasons. First of all, we wrestle every Friday and every Saturday.
Right.
2 days, 3 days out of the week, I'm on the telephone constantly because we wrestle in 10 different states.
Ah.
And for that reason, I need the book. Second of all, our company services 3 trucks, 4 wrestling rings. We have 3 shows a lot of times going on in one night. So for that reason, I don't really have a lot of time, especially on Fridays and Saturday nights when other wrestling is on, we're on the road.
Also, you don't get to watch Monday Night Raw or TNA. Ah, okay.
And second of all, I'm not interested in it.
Ah,
all I'm interested.
So a lot of people aren't really interested in today's WWE.
All I'm interested in, this is my business, this is my company. We run R&R Wrestling. We're getting involved with Greg Gagne's Gagne's Wrestling Academy.
Right.
You can find it in the internet, and we might merge or may merge later on this year. So it's going to be like Greg Gagne's Wrestling School / camp plus rock and roll wrestling. So the guarantee is once you complete camp, we're not going to be like these other camps that are going around. We're going to teach you how to wrestle, and when you're done, you kick you in the rear end.
Right.
Once we teach you how to wrestle, then we're going to put you on the road. And then you're going to run all these states. And you're going to be driving and flying and all that just like we did 20 years ago. We're not just going to turn them loose after they go to camp. That's why it's important we're going to work together. And not only are we going to enhance our shows from 150 to 160, we plan on running 250 plus shows a year.
And the Wrestling Academy is competitive with the other wrestling schools in the area.
Well, you know that
Chicago, Harley Race, etc., etc. Oh, I opened a can of worms.
Greg Gagne trained WWF wrestlers for a couple of months.
Right.
Greg Gagne wanted to go back to more of the basic wrestling. There was a problem there, I guess. Greg Gagne had said, hey, if you guys don't want to learn how to really wrestle, then forget about it. We're not going to try to work for anybody else. We're not going to try to steal wrestlers from anybody else. We're not going to try to run competition from anybody else. We're just going to run our own.
There you go. So
that's it.
Wrestlers that train at the camp, they're free to work. If they don't want to work for R&R Wrestling, they're free to work for wherever promotion they feel like.
Guys don't really even know. They think they live in a certain town. Let's pick on, they live in Minneapolis.
Right.
There's a show in Minneapolis. They think, oh, okay, I'm going to work all day at my job, pound nails. I'm going to come home, I'm going to take a shower, and then I'm going to go wrestle at the Minneapolis Auditorium, for an example.
Right.
They got 6, 8, 10, 12 guys. When the show's over, okay, well, they go home, and then they sleep on Sunday, Monday to go back to work. We're not talking about that.
Right.
We're talking about heart and soul. We're talking about every waking minute. This is what we're going to do. And when we're not on the road, we're going to be in the gym. And we're not in the gym when we're not on the road, then we're going to be on television. We're going to be on radio. We're going to be advertising, doing what we do. This has got nothing to do with these half-washed guys that, oh, I'm a wrestler. Well, how many times did you wrestle last year? 10 times. That's not a wrestler.
No, that's a weekend warrior.
There you go. That's good. You answered it better than me. We're looking for guys that are dedicated, that want to give their life for a career that's awarding. You're going to get on the road. I mean, I'm talking a long time ago.
Right.
I signed autographs all over. I got pictures from girls all over. They wanted me to meet them and come. And I've done a lot of great stuff. I don't want to pat my own back. We did stuff for handicapped children. We've done stuff for people, that we've done fundraisers for fire departments, rescue squads. We do fundraisers for high schools, buy them football helmets and that kind of stuff. We do a lot of that, and we still do, but I'm not going to stand up here and make a list of all of that.
Right.
There's this stuff that people, they criticize wrestling or they say something dumb about it, they don't know.
Now you're raising the next generation of wrestling.
Well, we're going to raise them, but we're going to bring them back 20 years.
Well, a lot of the guys that I grew up watching on television, WWE or NWA, etc., WCW, a lot of their kids are getting in the ring. We see Ricky Steamboat Jr., Ted DiBiase Jr.
But the problem is, bless all these guys, but if they don't have the basic training, they're never going to have the tack or whatever it takes to draw people in.
And you have some kids that are in the ring now.
My daughter is wrestling right now. She's here tonight, Louise Elise. And I have a son he's in high school now, and he's wrestling there. But we have more stuff going on. My one son works in a television station.
Right.
So he takes care of all of our camera work and all that needs to be done. So we got camera crew. My son is going to school. He's going to actually be in the radio. So we're going to have television coverage, we're going to have radio coverage, rock and roll wrestling. My daughter's going to run the show. My youngest son is going to be part of it. So we're going to have it lock, stock, and barrel.
Now, I got to ask this question, and this might be the most controversial one of all. What are your thoughts on Dale Gagne, or the so-called relative of Vern Gagne that resurrected the AWA and when he really didn't legally have the right to?
Yeah, I don't even know him. So.
What did you think of that, though?
Well, I think it's just, he's trying to, I think what it is, he's trying to sell a product, sell a show, and I don't know that much about it, so I can't say. So what he do is he probably just took the Gagne name, is using it to sell off of that name. But then again, I sell off a rock and roll Buck Zumhofe, so if that works for him, I don't care. Like I said earlier, I'm not running competition.
Right.
If you want to sit down and say, gee, I can't run a show Saturday night because there's 300 shows going on somewhere else,
right,
it will drive you nuts.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, I don't care what's going. There's going to be a wrestling show 10 miles from here. I don't care. Because we have a good show, we have a good product, we got great athletes, we have longevity. 9 years we've been pounding the road. So the first 2 years was hit and miss. 7, we're going on 8 years. No weekends off. We work Labor Day, Memorial Day, 4th of July, 3rd of July, 5th of July, New Year's Eve, Thanksgiving, Christmas, you bet. Thanksgiving spectacular. But anyway, we don't concern ourselves with what else is going on. We have enough work doing our own business. It's almost biblical. A man should mind his own business, don't worry about other people's stuff, and you'll do just fine.
So what's next for Buck Zumhofe?
I'm going to wrestle until I can't. And once I cannot wrestle anymore, then I'm going to referee. And once I can't referee anymore, I'll be sitting by the table here selling pictures until the day I die. That's it.
So where fans... So what's the website for Rock and Roll Wrestling, or should they go to the
Yeah, they can go to, it's one of those pages, Buck Rock and Roll Zumhofe. That's the other one. We have Buck Rock and Roll Zumhofe. That's just got old pictures of me in the AWA. But the Gagne Wrestling Academy is brand new. It's up to date. We have a store. You can get old AWA pictures of the classic wrestlers from the 50s and the 60s and the 70s. They got bios, t-shirts, pictures, everything. It's all there. Greg Gagne's Wrestling Academy, GWA, the newest and the greatest thing in wrestling since sliced bread.
All right, Buck Zumhofe. Thank you for talking to us.
Thank you.
Should be a great show tonight.
You bet. Thank you. Okay, here we go.
Show you a little bit of the action from Rock and Roll Wrestling. has already wrestled a match tonight. But to set up this particular matchup here, now coming to the ring, the All-Star, Paul Brewski. He wrestled the opening match tonight. Lost to the Lover Kid, Eric Lockhart, by disqualification.
Ladies and gentlemen, Beverly Hills, California, the All-Star, Paul Brewski.
He was disqualified for shoving the referee, which happened to be Rock and Roll Buck Zumhofe. Buck Zumhofe pulled off the shirt and then slugged the All-Star. And it led up to this matchup here tonight. And here he is, the AWA legend, the former AWA light heavyweight champion, one of the trailblazers for lower weight class competition in professional wrestling. And I just interviewed Rock and Roll Buck Zumhofe. There he is. He still's got that boombox with him. Although, looks like he's used a bit of duct tape on that one.
Ladies and gentlemen, many of you may remember him from the days of Vern Gagne's All-Star Wrestling. He is the one and only Rock and Roll Buck Zumhofe.
Buck Zumhofe also wrestled for World Class Championship Wrestling, the promotion run by Fritz von Erich. Now the earlier action on this particular card, the Virgin Louisa Lees was disqualified, and here she is right there. Apparently she's going to be managing Paul Brewski. Louisa Lees lost her match against Mystic Sexton. Louisa Lees shoved this particular referee, the Leprechaun Jay North. Louisa Lees challenged him to a match, and she lost in a strange and surreal woman versus midget match. As Buck mentioned earlier, this is the daughter of, this is his daughter. Although it doesn't look like a really happy father-daughter relationship here. Well, this is a bar, and the crowd has been saying not too nice things throughout the evening. Ah, here we go. Fans chanting rock and roll. And here we go. Match is starting. There's a lockup. I should mention this ring is only 12 foot wide. So not a lot of room to do things in this ring. The ceiling is not very high either. So you're going to see pretty much a ground game. Brewski shoves him off. There's a shoulder block. Another shoulder block by Buck Zumhofe. It's a good thing the referee is a midget to fit in this small ring here with the wrestlers. And Buck, Irish whip. Oh, kick to the head. Put his head down. There's a chokehold on the middle rope. And Louisa Lees choking her own father. Godfather. Buck Zumhofe taught his daughter better or something. Oh, Louisa Lees just raked his own Boom, dad across the back. Irish whip to the corner, and Brewski with a clothesline. Brewski, and just whips him into the other corner. Said there's not much distance to throw somebody in this ring. Oh, and the Louisa Lee's just slugged Buck Zumhofe. Her own dad in the head. There's another choke. Oh, and just poked him in the eyes. It's been pretty much double. Oh, look at this. It's got both of them, rams their heads together. Yeah, honor your father and mother, Louise. The way now, Buck Zumhofe is stepping out of the ring here.
Used to, you want to play screwball? You want to kiss each other? You want a goddamn tag team match to stuff? You're taking interest in tag team, 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 tag team.
I apologize for the camera going in and out of focus so much. Unfortunately, the lights are just tricking the camera and causing them to go out of focus. So now it's tag action. A strange mixed tag. Man and woman versus man and midget. And there is Mystic Sexton putting on the referee shirt to referee the match. And Jay North just shoulder blocked the woman here. Well, there's a tag to Buck Zumhofe. Wait a minute. Oh, he just made a wish. Man, we got some serious domestic violence going on here. And Jay North with a headbutt, but that doesn't work on a girl. My Lord. Now Luis Elise fires back. I'm just gonna tag in Brewski. And Brewski walks into a hip toss. Zumhofe with a clothesline. Short arm. We had about 150 to 200 fans in the venue tonight. Brewski charges but runs into a punch. Oh, and Buck Zumhofe is showing claw. I didn't know he did the iron claw, and there it is. There's the iron claw by Buck Zumhofe. Mystic Sexton trying to usher Luis Elise out. Brewski just fought his way out and then just rams Buck Zumhofe into the boot. There's a tag, iron double whip. Double shot to the gut. And Luis Elise pick up, slam to the mat. Ooh, there's a dropped punch there. There's a cover. 1, 2, 2. She mentioned Luis Elise has already wrestled twice tonight. And we don't know how much is in that tank. Jay North has already wrestled himself, so has Paul Brewski. Buck Zumhofe is pretty much the freshest guy in the ring right now. There's a tag against Jay North, the leprechaun. And there's too many bodies in the ring. On he whips Brewski into Luis Elise. There you go again. And I don't think she's a virgin anymore. Oh, she just nailed Jay North low.
Come on, get one of them out.
That's what they're doing. Brewski and Elise pick him up, slam into the mat. is holding his own in this match. Buck Zumhofe's walking around the ring. I don't know if he's going to get a shot in there. Look at this. Oh, he drops him across the knee. A backbreaker. There's a cover. 1, 2, 2. Mystic Sexton only counts 2 in this main event of rock and roll wrestling. And there's another backbreaker. Because this is a 12-foot ring, Buck Zumhofe only has to reach in and pull Brewski off the cover. And Mystic Sexton trying to choke him with a leg.
There's no tag. There's no tag.
Yes, I did.
Now they just clap their hands.
Elise has a hold of the midget. Buck Zumhofe tags himself in, but Brewski distracts Mystic Sexton, and there's the illegal switch. Great, I'm going to have to raise the TV rating to TV 14 here. Give me a break with this crowd. I think he can just reach his arm far in there and just tag him. There's not very much distance to go to get a tag. Oh, looks like a... I don't know what that move was. It was a jawbreaker or something. And Buck slugs Brewski, sends Elise into the corner. Oh! Puts Elise outside, and Buck Zumhofe. Gosh, in my face! Jeez. There's not much room for them to fight outside. There's just a lot of people in here. Oh, and he just tripped him up, and there's the cover of 2, 3. Whoa. Jay North with a schoolboy trip and gets the pinfall.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, the Leprechaun Jay North! And his partner, Rock and Roll Buck Zumhofe. Rock and roll! Rock and roll!
So your winner is Rock and Roll Buck Zumhofe and the Leprechaun Jay North.
Ladies, Wet and Wild Water Wrestling. There's a couple girls out there I know that want to join us and get a little wet.
Midgets should not be allowed in professional wrestling.
Take you a
I don't know about
minute,
that.
get a cold drink.
Whatever.
Get the water in the room.
The king of rock and roll.
Well, thank you for tuning in this week on the Nosebleed Seats. I'm the Mad Conservative Crime Fighter. We'll see ya next time.
Okay.